villainy and destroy it. To succeed is to achieve everlasting glory and riches beyond imagining. To fail is to lose everything. Will you answer the call?
Fuck it.
We're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first 2022 episode of WovenRealm, right?
2020,
That's correct, right?
ooh woo.
I feel like that's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome. I don't know what episode number it is, but I'm sure it's a really cool
10.
one. 10. All right. So, episode 10 is titled Vile Maw, so enjoy that later. We'll do a quick recap and then we'll get into it. So last time on WovenRealm, I almost said Agora's bells. Holy crap!
Whoa.
The party instantly got. It's just because Kate's here, and I was like, oh. The party instantly got transported to the city of Hex after a short talk with Elisa Motai, the Archmage of the Weave. Magnessa had volunteered to go with them, but was quickly lost inside of the city once they got there. Azara and Magnessa were nowhere to be found once they got to the other side. Instead, the party turned around to see a small little talking cat named Verwin, who is played by Kate. She said she was actually basically a time-traveling elf, and she was sent to find Azara here. And that's pretty much what we know. Other than that, there's a cat now. The party then met up with a kind of an ex-watcher. He's a watcher still. His name is Dutch, and that's not his real name because he was told not to tell his name to anybody, or you were all told not to tell your name to anybody here, essentially. And you can, guess that he's doing the same thing. The party went looking for Azara and eventually kind of found Magnessa roundaboutly a little bit. They Dutch found Magnessa. They fought some plague doctor dude named the Collector, which matches up with another one of those names of people that they found associated with Gorgoth, the Wolf of Eden. They dispatched him very, very easily, maybe a little bit too easily. And that was pretty much it. And then at the end, as everyone was going to sleep, and they found a little lizard child in one of the closets that the Collector had. And inside of the pocket of the little lizard child, she had a note that said, "If you found this note, I have failed. Take her to the one who tricked the void." And that's what that said. And then they were hanging out at night. At the night, the children of Hex, the Pecha, run rampant through the street and pretty much tear people apart who are still in the street past a certain hour. So everyone was, enjoying that nice sound outside of their window. As soon as that ended, Fenris heard his name being called by a familiar-looking woman, and she led him down a few back alleys, and, luck would have it was an ambush. Wow.
Oh, who would have guessed?
And Fenris was essentially, he saw another familiar human male figure, and behind him he was picked up by the scruff of his coat, basically by this giant silver-maned werewolf. And that is right where we left off. So, how we're going to pull this together, I didn't think of.
Nope.
So, Fenris, we'll start. We'll just go into this first, and then we will talk about how everyone else notices Fenris is gone. So, Fenris, as you feel yourself, your feet just like easily lifted off the ground, you come face to face with this just snarling silver-maned werewolf. He's got these like the teeth are normal, but you can tell that there's some sort of poison or disease dripping from it, and he's just staring you right in the face. Behind him, you see your friend Franz, who is maybe not so much your friend anymore in this moment. He's a little shorter than you. He's a human rogue. He's got black, slick, like shoulder-length hair that's kind of constantly kind of wet for some reason. He's kind of draped it over the side of his head. He's handsome, but a little maybe evil looking at this point, as he's been hunting for quite some time. So Franz just kind of looks on at you with like a cocky grin on his face, and just under his breath, not even meant for you to hear, he just says, "I've been waiting for this for a while." And then as soon as you go to respond, you're pulled around and slammed up against the brick wall by this giant silver-maned werewolf. And in a low growl, but you can kind of hear it, you see other werewolves start stalking out from like the buildings in the background and things like that. He has a whole pack with him. And he says to you, "The small wolf finally meets his alpha. I am the chosen of Lycus, the one destined to slay the other candidate. Prove that it is me who will become the Chimera. I am the strongest, silver-maned leader of the pack, the Vile Maw." And the last thing you see for a second is just his mouth just open around your head.
Fun.
So the rest of you, those of you who are staying with Dutch, you hear like basically your doors.
Dutch, that was his
open.
fucking name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Basically, your doors bang open. He's like, "Friend's gone," and he just points to the empty window and sits down with like his morning coffee, basically.
Scheisse. Okay.
Like,
I guess
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I guess Olander goes around to like make sure everybody wakes up because she's the only one Up.
And then, like, in the distance, as you're getting everyone up, as you're rousing everybody, in the distance, you just hear, like, just the sound of snarling as, like, a bunch of werewolves start going down a back alley. And you can probably guess what's going on. So as the three of you rush down into the city streets in the early morning, Azara, you find yourself, we'll talk about how you got there later, but you find yourself basically on the other side of the city. And you see all these werewolves just kind of rushing down an alley. And again, you can probably feel like that's probably something to do with Fenris.
Yeah, this tends to be how our luck goes.
So that is how we all come together, and I will ask you all to roll initiative at this point.
Nat 20.
Oh, damn.
Happy 2022.
Yeah, right.
26.
21?
Dang, y'all are rolling hot.
16! Double digits for Oleander.
Whoa.
I have a +9 to my initiative, so...
No one likes a bragger, at least.
Well, that means I only rolled a 12.
That's wild. Okay, so what was your total, Alex?
With the nat 20. Hold
I'm
on.
sure it's the top, but just to check.
It might not be actually, but I'll double check here. It's Dex plus level, right?
Mm-hmm.
26 total then.
Oh yeah.
Well, Constance
That
is also 26, so.
Right. There's actually another one too. So y'all
Jesus
can,
Christ.
Yeah, there's 3 26s. Okay, and then Verwin, I think I missed. Yeah, what was Verwin's?
19.
Muted. Or I couldn't hear you at least.
You are
You're
muted.
muted in
the Zooms.
I'm here. Got an 8.
8. All right, there we go. Okay, so Fenris and Constance both 26. Verwin has an 8. I didn't order this properly. Oh boy, hold on.
Here, I got you, dude.
There we go, I got it. All right, Constance 26. Fenris, Franz has a 26. Fenris has 26. Azara 21. Vilma 21. Oleander 19. Verwin 8. The Silver Hunt 8. Barad 3, and the escalation die at the bottom. So I feel like it makes narrative sense because he rolled a nat 20 for Fenris to go first. So if y'all want to, you and Constance can decide that though.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so Fenris, you are being slammed repeatedly in the wall by this big silver werewolf, basically, for a few minutes before your friends catch up, and they finally round the corner, and that's when we'll start action.
All right, so I'm just gonna shift right away. We're gonna go into werewolf mode. Like they want to play werewolf, I'll play werewolf. That's fine. I'm gonna go with the leopard and the owl bear aspects. So I'm going to. You're gonna need to let me know if any enemies roll a nat 1 to 4 with a melee attack, because I gain an additional standard action if that happens.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah. And oh sweet. Okay, so I get like +4 to my AC. Yeah, we gonna be living. So I'm gonna attack them.
Go for it.
And I also get a +1 because of the things, all my aspects. Okay, so it's a nat odd. A dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah.
All right. $17 points of damage total with some fire mixed in.
All right. HP 17. Okay. Tell me how that looks. What's the badass werewolf action?
So as Fenris is like getting slammed in the wall and the maws coming around it, he just shifts into a werewolf, kicks his back legs off the wall, and just kind of launches himself towards Vilma and just starts clawing and biting. Just that classic werewolf versus werewolf action. We've all seen Underworld, right?
It's gonna be very Underworld for a few sessions.
We've all seen that in like the shitty Van Helsing movie that is a guilty pleasure of mine.
Shitty.
That's what's going on. So these werewolves are just kind of like, I imagine, just rolling and just swiping at each other, growling some Lion King-esque epic confrontation.
as you kind of gain the advantage and just roll around and scratch at Vilemaw, your skin starts to burn on your back shoulder, and you look over, and there's a square of silver around the two of you.
Oh.
On the ground.
Oh.
So yeah, no damage, but just something to note.
All right. And just to note, my AC's like 20 now.
Okay. All right. So that's Fenris. Constance, you run up around the corner and you see Fenris basically squaring off with this big, like, alpha huge werewolf. And there's two smaller ones kind of blocking your path to Fenris, kind of in the way right here. Which you could try to run past, of course, but
are we supposed to be on a map?
oh, did I not move you? Sorry. My bad.
Been there.
There you go. Yeah, my bad.
Alright, I'll get that set up on the overlay in a sec.
my
Okay,
fault.
first I would like to activate my halo.
Hello.
Yeah, then I guess I want to wait. So there's like monsters and blocking our path.
Yeah, so Fenris is right here.
Yeah.
On that green ping, and then
Yeah.
yeah, these two are both werewolves. Kind of, they're watching Fenris. Their backs are to you, but
All
Yeah,
right,
they're
I
kind of in
want to
your way.
backstab them.
beautiful.
Calculate my roll. Calculate my roll. 1 second. $23 to hit.
Oh yeah, that is.
Uh, 15 damage.
15 damage.
Boom.
All right. Anything else?
No, that is all.
So you definitely get their attention. You run up behind and just smack them over the top of the head with your staff, just twirling at them. They both turn around and just kind of like start snarling at you. Their claws like lengthen a little bit. Seems like they're finishing their transition into being a werewolf, and they're just like turn around towards you, just snarling, foaming at the mouth. And that's where you are now. Up next is Franz. So Fenris, as you are just like rolling around in werewolf combat, I guess I should roll for it. Just can't say that. And that probably misses with your new AC. That's a 19.
Yeah, that'll miss. Just barely.
Okay, so as you're like rolling around in werewolf combat, you hear like a crossbow bolt fire off, and it just like shatters across your hide. And you just hear shit under his breath, and then a quick like move in the background.
Just a quick glance away from the other werewolf to see where it came from. Swipe across the face. Just go back. I've seen my dog fight animals before.
And so you just see like this quick like movement in the background as he begins to climbing up the steps a little bit. But all right, Azari, you're up next. You're coming from the other direction. There is one werewolf in your path to Fenris as well, but you're here.
Okay. I could fight this one werewolf. However, yeah, I'm just going to spend my turn trying to get closer to the fight, and I'm going to bring up my Invocation of Life.
Okay.
And summon my Motes of Starlight, and that'll be my turn.
All right. So as you do this, like the bright light shines around you, the werewolf kind of turns around and starts like eyeing you down. He seems to not really charge you. He's kind of like blocking you from Fenris, I guess.
Okay.
Cool. So that's that, and then it is Vilemaw's turn. Let's see what he can do. Cool. All right. He's just gonna take his infective bite. That's a lot. It's a natural odd 24 to hit Fenris.
Yeah, and that's versus AC.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a hard save as well.
Oh,
16
goody.
plus. Yeah.
That. Nope. Nah, that's a 6.
No. Okay, you take 8 like normal piercing damage, and then with the failed hard save, you take 7 more poison damage.
All right. Hey, what did Franz miss with nat wise?
He was in that.
Oh, it was in melee. Never mind. Go ahead. Doesn't matter. He wasn't in melee, so.
Oh. Right.
Not knowing my own abilities.
I don't know him either. So yeah, as soon as his teeth sink into your shoulder, it just goes a bit too deep, and you just like see like green acid just like pouring out from his teeth, and it's gross. All right, Oleander, you're up next.
All we need. It's gross.
It's really gross.
Ew, gross. Okay, so Oleander's gonna approach and just see a bunch of freaking werewolves wailing on fair surrogate brother, so to speak. And she's just gonna be like, we do not have time for this. And she's gonna raise her hand, and instead of summoning her usual skeletons, it's like the shadows on her hands that sort of crawl up them when she casts, like, ooze off of her fingertips and coalesce into the form of this long-clawed kind of shambling ghoul. And she's just gonna point at the werewolves first up, the ones I guess Constance is dealing with, and just say, make them your feast this evening and your soul will be free. And it's gonna be a 19 versus AC to hit the werewolves.
That hits.
Or to hit one of them at least.
Yeah.
That's going to be 8 damage, and because it was a natural even, they are now vulnerable to any attacks by undead until the end of their next turn.
Oh boy. All right. There we go. Yeah. So this ghoul just like comes out of Oleander's hand essentially and just chomps down on this werewolf, and just scratches on the way through, and you just see like a undead fighting a werewolf. Basically, it's underworld in here.
I think Oleander actually looks kind of surprised because this is a spell she hasn't done yet, and she's just kind of like, oh, well, that's new. But then just sort of like pulls it back together right away and tries to look like she meant to do that.
That went way too well.
Kind of. It's like she was kind of expecting to summon her skeletons, but she was like angry and the kind of recent level up. She was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
She like overshot and summoned a ghoul instead.
Oops.
Like you do.
Okay, if that is it, it is Berwyn's turn.
Yes, sorry. I have an angry pup, and she is angry because I'm not sharing snacks. I am going to attack the same thing. Werewolf, not a thing. I'm going to attack the same werewolf that Oleander is going for. And with my little kitty paws, I am going to... let me see. Do the Sigil of Blood. Oh, that's an interrupt action. Sorry, never mind. That's different.
No worries.
I think almost all the sigils are interrupts, and it's like the action to set them up, I believe.
It's like Hunter's
Yeah.
Mark. You set them up,
Yes,
you mark
okay.
them with the sigil, and then you wait for them to attack, basically. Kind of like how I wait for someone to miss me for my shit to proc.
Gotcha. Okay. So cool. Then yes, I will do Sigil of Blood. I'll set that up on the same werewolf that Oleander is going for. And the trigger is that the enemy makes an attack against an ally, but doesn't attack me.
Okay. They will definitely be doing that. So
Because I'm
Alright.
just a cat.
I'm just a cat. All right. Okay. So the Silver Hunt is up next. The one in the bottom half of the map is just gonna all fours start just rushing towards Azara. Azara, it's gonna run up to you, and it doesn't even like try to scratch or bite you. It just momentum. It just like slams into you. Well, it would if that wasn't a 10 to hit. So
No, that's gonna miss.
so it just goes like bounding past you and like slams into a wall on the side. That's
I'd
not
like
the
to
best
imagine I just like
werewolf.
baseball bat slam it out of the way with my lance.
It just goes flying through a shop window. Poor guy. All right, the other one, and the one that Verwyn has marked is going to try to chomp at Constance. That's another 8 to hit. Yeah, kind of thought that one. And then the other one is going to attack Constance. Why am I rolling? That's another 8 to hit. I just rolled the same number 3 times. Okay.
So Kate,
Yes.
this is
The
when your
sigil-
when the werewolf attack Constance, that attack doesn't target you.
Yeah.
According to
now
your
you can-
sigils, that's when they can trigger, and that's when you use an interrupt to hit them with it.
Perfect. So, it deals negative energy damage equal to the Constitution modifier plus level.
Their con mod or yours?
It would be
Uh,
Kate's con
mine.
mod plus
Okay.
level.
And my
Interesting.
con mod is not a lot. Let me pull up my page. I swear I'm prepared. I promise I am.
Good.
Con mod is 1,
Plus your levels
Uh,
3,
3.
4.
It's still really good because it's an interrupt
Yeah,
that you can
it's
do all the time. That's what
free,
makes
yeah.
it good.
Yeah, and he doesn't even know where it came from because I'm just a cat.
So the sigil kind of in his fur just like glows red as he reaches out, and he just kind of whimpers and like looks down. Very confused.
Here's from a distance. No.
Down.
Bad dog.
All right.
It's like a little. It manifests as a collar and like a little zappy.
It's the leash from last session. No. Nope.
Okay. Next up, if that is the end of the Silver Hunt's turn, is Barid, the wizard. So the wizard in the top left tower, you begin to see him casting things with his hands, and all of a sudden, Fenris, you're no longer fighting Vilemaw.
What?
You are fighting a lovely, beautiful woman that you once knew.
Uh-oh.
And the two of you are scratching, and she's fending you off with like a dagger that she has, and you it's definitely a flashback of a memory that you might be a core memory, if you will.
Yes, a memory that's core to my character and
Mhm.
not one that he really. We're gonna put it all down here
Yeah, right.
and then someday die.
Yep. So
Maybe
that is
come
what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a high-level illusionist fucking with you.
Oh boy. And the escalation die goes up.
Yeah, that goes up to 1.
I got you.
Oh man, I deleted it. I even had it. All right, and then it is Fenris's turn. So
All right. Oh man, this is gonna suck because mechanically, whew, drop in shifted form because he knows how to control it now. And if he's reliving this memory, he's just gonna drop shifted form, just kind of and like pulls out sword and it's a light, and he's just like, "No, Celeste, what is this? What sort of magic? What?" And he's kind of whirling around. He just kind of yells, "Quit messing with my head!" And he just kind of like just lashes out the sword towards towards the, instead of the individual, towards like the silver circle. I'll use your fancy stunt to deactivate it.
yeah, okay. Sounds good. Intelligence plus level.
Ooh. Nah.
Go to the next person.
Just I don't even want to talk about that roll.
Okay, so you slam your sword down and it just resolute stays in this like hardened silver line in a square around you as Celeste basically bears down on you, ready to attack, even though you have no idea why she'd be doing that. It's very confusing.
I mean, in his anxiety-addled brain right now, he did attack her as a werewolf, so it makes sense.
It's fair. All right. Okay, if there's anything else you want to do. No?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Then Constance, it is back up to you.
So the one that I'm attacking did not die yet.
It did not, and it missed you last turn.
I'm going to attack it again.
Okay.
I'll even throw a smite in for
For
good
Spice.
measure. 25 to hit,
Yeah.
21 damage.
All right. Yeah, you take that wolf down
Ha 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 ha.
with a quick bonk across the jaw. That thing just
But-
flies into a shop, and it is gone.
He
I was gonna say,
deserved it.
I want to see how Constance like bonks a werewolf down. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like if the horny bonk Shiba Inu came to life. but just like right over the head, and he's just got like a dent in his brain.
He just like goes into the ground. He's there now.
Go to horny jail.
Poor werewolf. All right. Anything else, Constance?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Franz the rogue is up next. As you, Fenris, are looking on at Celeste and confused if she is alive or somehow has come back, I gotta roll before I narrate. That hits, yeah. 24? Natural even?
Yeah, that hits. I just need to know if it's nat 1 to 4 if they miss me
Yeah.
with a melee.
Yeah, you just feel this like jolt of pain in your back as a bolt pierces through you now that you are no longer in extra armored form, and you just feel it pierce through your cloak. And he is going to use a bleeding strike.
Ooh, I don't know.
And it was a natural even. Perfect. Okay, so you only take 3 points of damage, but you have an ongoing d4 on your turn until you can stop the bleeding. Which you have to use a whole action to bandage, basically.
Okay, good to know. It's like, so it's not a save, it's just...
Use it, yeah, you waste a turn, basically.
Okay.
Where's Fenris? 1d4.
I've got you. Okay.
And that's it for him. He's going to keep retreating up the stairs. And Azara, you are back up. The werewolf is kind of near you. It's off to the left in the shop after rolling a natural 1, basically. But
can I see Fenris from where I am?
Yeah.
Can I see him being charged by?
Yeah, and to you, this is not a woman charging him. It's a giant werewolf.
So I'm gonna blast him.
So anyway, I started blasting.
I'm going to use my motes of starlight that I have summoned. So I think there's 3 of them. There it is. My D20 ran away from me for a minute.
They do that.
Well, the first one's a natural 1, so I'm guessing that misses.
Yep, that one flies into the shop with the werewolf.
The second one is a natural 19. Plus the whole bunch.
Yeah, it hits.
And I'm gonna roll the third one. I'll roll the damage at the same time. I actually have to calculate this one. Oh, also, no, never mind. Yeah, 14, so I think the last one misses as well.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay. Didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but that's all right.
You got one.
And it's 10 points of holy damage.
Nice. Yeah, so Azara, you launch that out, and you watch as the mote of starlight impacts him right in between the shoulder blades. And Fenris, as he does this, you see Celeste fade into Vilma again with the dripping acidic teeth staring down at you.
And what the hell? I'm going to... Does Fenris look hurt?
I think he's hurt.
Fenris, are you hurt? Fenris.
I'm looking about. I'm doing okay, but if the pain keeps up, it's not going to go well for me.
Okay, I'm going to use my invocation of sun, which only affects me and not yet. So, and that's my turn.
Okay. Okay. Vilma is going to go up next. And he's going to try to chomp Fenris. That is a natural 4.
Oh, well, I'm not in the thing anymore. So
Oh, damn it.
It did one
Well,
turn too late.
He misses still. And he's going to use his quick action to claw. That's just as shitty. 18 against physical defense.
Yes.
Okay. And another hard save, please.
Yeah, sure thing. That's a 9, so nah.
Okay, you take 3 slashing damage and then 7 more acid damage. As you just like, now that he's punctured into your shoulder, he also jams his claws into the side of your arm, and you're just like, you watch as this like green vein start to spread out across you from multiple areas.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. Oleander, you're up next.
This is fine. Totally fine. Shit, what the hell was I gonna do now? Alright, I'm gonna have my ghoul take another swipe at that same werewolf. That's gonna miss, though. It's a 12 versus AC. I can't imagine
does
that'll
miss.
possibly hit.
Yep.
Shit, and I can't... I would need... Oleander would like me to squeeze past that sort of bottleneck with that werewolf to try to disarm that square, right?
Yeah, you gotta touch it pretty much.
Okay, yeah, she's like not feeling that risky yet. In that case, I'm gonna just sort of, yeah, I'll give this one a try. I'm gonna hold out my hand, and this is an auto hit. I'm gonna cast Wave of Decay on Vilema, who I see wrecking up Fenris. It's just 10 negative energy damage, but I'm gonna be able to do that as a free action at the start of each of my turns.
Wow.
Which is pretty awesome.
That's very awesome.
And it like scales with the escalation die damage, like based on when I cast it, which is really cool.
Whoa.
So I think Oleander just again sort of flings out her free hand that isn't holding the cane, and you see this sort of like really, actually probably even Fenris sees it, but through the lens of the illusion, where it's like literally this creepy ripple effect where like the werewolf looks like it's like decomposed as the ripple like goes by, and it's like gross and decomposed, and then it's normal again. So poor Fenris probably gets like a really messed up visual of like his illusion lady getting all weird and decomposed briefly.
Oops.
Whoopsie
Sorry, Fenris.
daisy. But
It's
that'll
getting
be
better.
my turn.
Okay, that was 10 damage.
Yeah, that was 10 negative energy.
Okay, cool. Verwin, you are up next.
Okie dokie. I really don't like this werewolf. I'm gonna, granted, I'm not a dog person at all. So I'm going to cast Blurring Sigil on the one that I attacked earlier.
What does that do?
The trigger is the marked enemy makes an attack against an ally, doesn't attack me. And then the effect is that they have to roll twice and take the lower result.
Okay. Sounds good. And it is their turn up next, so that works out nice.
Perfect.
And they're going to try to swipe at Oleander's ghoul that keeps clawing them in the face, so...
I mean, that seems fair.
Yep. I'm getting a new dice. That's an 8.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Yep. I want a new dice. To think I pulled you out. No, that's the Caucasian dice. That'll just be even worse. Give me
Whoops.
something else. Okay. And then, yeah, you can do your Blurring Sigil now if you want to, but he already missed, so it's up to you.
I mean, yes, we're going to do the Blurring Sigil. So roll again. Do worse.
That's one higher. So still a miss, but also bad. Awesome.
Excellent. And that's all it does.
Yeah.
Makes a miss.
Sounds good. Barrett is up next. He's maintaining his illusion. Escalation die goes to 2. Why did... God, I hate that. All right, Fenris, you are back up next. At the top of your turn, you take 4 points of bleeding
Ooh.
damage.
Don't sound too excited there. Jeez.
I thought it was a 1 and it was a 4. It was pretty impressive.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. Is it Vilma I'm looking at, or am I looking at Celeste right now?
You're not looking at Vilma again.
Oh, fuck. And Fenris is gonna kind of like try and back up and deactivate the silver circle, feeling the panic setting in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck me. Nat 1.
Oh. As you like, he basically has you like pushed over at this point, and as you like crawl forward to touch on the silver circle to try to get rid of it, he comes up behind you and just picks you up by the shirt, slams you against the wall, and he says again, "I will be the Chimera. He's told me my whole life that I am the one destined to slay the only other candidate to be it." And again, he just like claws you in the ribs. And he's really mad.
Yeah.
Constance, it's your turn.
You mad, bro?
Am I able to run up to the one that's by attacking Fenris?
You can. You'll probably get an attack of opportunity from the one werewolf that is still fighting Oleander's school. But
Good luck.
good luck, sucker.
Meow.
I rolled a fucking 8. All right, that's a different dice. Constance,
All right.
you're good.
Cool. I do an attack and a big smite.
'Kay.
23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
29 bonk
Holy.
damage.
So as
Holy.
Constance is running up and
Holy
is, like,
bonk damage.
Holy
beating the
bonk.
shit out of who Fenris thinks is someone else, he's like, "What are you doing?"
Constance runs up. Fenris, at first you're happy, and then you're sad, and you don't know what to believe anymore. And then Constance just runs up and just bonks this guy over the head again. Okay, Constance, anything else, or is that it?
How bad does Fenris look?
I'm looking pretty rough now.
I'm gonna lay my hands all over you.
Oh, thanks. Fenris is into that.
Please take a recovery, but
All right.
do not spend one of your own.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I think we got the wrong episode title this
this
week.
Get a room.
I rolled a 1, but thank God for con mods and level mods. Okay, I get 6 hit points back. Cool. That puts me. I'm not staggered anymore, so that's good.
Great. Franz is up next. And he is going to look up. Those of you paying attention to him, which probably no one, but regardless, you see him look up to the pale gray moon above you really quick, and then he takes out, without even looking, he takes a dagger out from his pouch and just throws it at Fenris. He's concerned with other things at this point. And that's a 14 to hit Fenris. Rolling really, really well.
Versus AC?
AC, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. You just catch it.
So, like, yeah, I was gonna say, Fenris, like, whirls around and uses the flame blade and just cuts it in half as these, like, piping red hot dagger parts just hit the ground, and he just looks at Franz, and his eyes just light up on fire. You!
He just like ducks behind one of the werewolves a little bit and reloads his crossbow.
Face me, coward!
He's not gonna do that. All right, Azara, you're up.
I am going to damn it, the close quarters spell. Can I get in close quarters with Fenris?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get up to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up and slap him with a healing spell.
Yeah, y'all have no problem going through the silver line. It's just Fenris.
Okay, that's a quick action. Can
And
I try
was
and
that a
disable
good-
this silver square?
Yeah, with your main action. Yep.
So do I
Intelligence plus level.
just roll a recovery for your heal, Lucy?
Yep, and you add hit points equal to double our level. So
Oh, fuck yeah. And
Oh,
rolled
I also
another 1.
forgot that my lay on hands, you get +8. Sorry.
Oh, shit!
Whoa.
Nice! Yo!
damn.
He's
Okay,
so
now
healthy.
now I'm like getting HP back. Yeah, I'm basically almost at full. Well, I'm like almost at full, homies. Thanks.
Plus intelligence, Chris.
Yep, intelligence plus level.
Okay. Not my strong suit.
So Zara a smarty?
No, not exactly. No, it's an 11. Apparently Lucy's not a smarty either. Can't do math.
Not quite with an 11. You look down and there's like runes like embedded in the silver and you're not quite sure what's going on. It looks like some Order of the Weave bullshit. And you don't know what that means.
And from here, can I see Wizardy Boy?
Yep, he's like up in a tower in front of you, but yep.
Okay, I can't do anything to him, but at least I know he's there.
But he's there. All right. If that is it, Vilemont is up next. Even with his new targets, he is not going to steer away from Fenris because that is his life's mission. And the whole time, I'm not going to roleplay it every time at this point, but every time he attacks you, you just hear, I am the Chimera under his breath. And he just like, it's almost like a chant to him. It's like literally his life's motto. Oh, that's a nat 20. Oh, that's a reversal.
So much for the heals. Thanks, y'all. It's been nice.
That's a lot. Can you roll a hard save for me too?
Yeah, I can. That's a 12. We're getting better, but
hey, that's okay. Well, sorry.
It's okay. I did say hurt me, daddy, too, at some point.
You did type that to me earlier. That's 27 points of damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
On the crit. And since that is your third hard fail, you feel you can no longer move. Your muscles kind of lock up. You can still probably swing your sword, but that's about it. So
I'm stuck in place.
Yep.
I like to imagine it's maybe just more of just a tunnel vision, just like the rage.
Mm-hmm. That works for me. And that is his turn. He just like throws you down afterwards after like a successful like bite to the other clavicle, and you just have these like two big bite marks on each shoulder just bleeding, like where the thousands of teeth protruded out of.
Death by 1,000 teeth.
And Oleander, you're up next. You still got this pesky werewolf slapping your ghoul in the face, but or trying to. But...
yeah, not very effectively.
No, he kind of sucks.
My ghoul does hit the werewolf for a 27 versus AC. It's gonna be 8 damage.
Yeah, that'll kill the werewolf.
Sweet. I think my ghoul kind of like starts chowing down, and so I'm like, no, keep going. And I'm like shooing it to head towards the werewolf, towards Vilemont next.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to, now I don't know what I want to do. Oleander doesn't like the silver square. I'm gonna try to disarm it. I'm gonna take a look at it, and it's an intelligence plus level.
Yep.
No background or anything, though, right?
Nope.
Shit, it's just a 10. God damn it.
Nope. There's just something about it. You've seen it in Elise's study before. This definitely has like, since you would know a little bit more about this. This definitely has like insignias of the weave kind of mixed in, so it kind of calls into question who this guy is that has cast it. But
okay, I just sort of angrily kick at it for a second, and then I just turn around and wave of decay Vilemont again. It's gonna be 11 negative energy.
Oh, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage.
He has. Okay, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll be my turn. I just sort of squeeze myself into the corner where I'm trying to deactivate the thing. Like, don't look at me.
Please.
I am small and very squishy.
All right, and Verwin, you are up next.
Okay. I am also going to make my way towards Fenris. And I am going to try and cast Sigil of Blood on that werewolf.
Okay.
And
sounds
so yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we just have to wait and then see if he
Wait
decides to keep
punching
keep
Fenris in the
attacking.
face. Yeah. All right. The
Continue
silver
to
hunt.
beat the dead horse. Yes.
Yep. The silver hunt is up next, but they can't go through the square yet, so they are protecting their friends. Barid is up next, and Barid is going to cast a nasty spell. I need Fenris, Verwin, Azara, and Constance to all make dexterity saves, please. Everybody but Oleander.
9. Oh, do I add level to that too, or
Yes.
just 12?
Natural 19.
Okay, you're
Do you
good.
need my ghoul to roll?
No, he's okay. Oh, did he move up?
He was, yeah.
Okay, then yes, school.
Big 9.
This is next.
9.
I'll just make a flat roll.
Natural 15
Nope.
plus 4, so 19.
How'd the ghoul do?
That's a 3.
Okay, so
Ghouls are
Fenris-
dexterous, y'all.
Fenris, Constance, and the ghoul. You watch as Barid the wizard, he just lets out this lightning bolt, and it just chains between the three of you, and just over and over. Oh my god. That's
Friendly
17.
reminder that my domain of life is up.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. That's
I forgot to mark
17
it.
points of damage to everyone.
Oh, goody.
Well, the three of you who failed.
Hey,
Oh,
my ghoul
goody.
is
I'm
still
going
up.
down next round because I'm at 1.
Oh. Yeah, as soon as you get up, you bleed
Yep.
too.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I'm going down as soon as my turn's up.
That's unfortunate. Okay, that's Barrett's turn. And he, like, those of you kind of paying attention, I know Zara was looking up at him. He kind of, like, the other human rogue guy, like, pulls his sleeve. He's like, we have to go. We can't stay here much longer. And Barrett says, let him have his fun. And the escalation die ticks up to 3.
All right. So when it comes up to Fenris, regardless, I'm going down. But negative hit points matter, so please roll that for me.
Will do. That's 4. Wow. Cranking the
Fuck,
bleed
you're
damage.
you're just hurting me. So as Fenris is like going down, he just kind of looks at Vialba and just you kind of hear under his breath, I understand, Celeste. I'm sorry. Goes down.
Mm.
And now
Okay.
now I am dying.
You can still fight in spirit.
That's right.
But the
Constance, you're up
sigil of
next.
blood,
that's
does activate. So
Well, I
he-
didn't get attacked.
Oh, that was
It
just his
an
bleed,
ongoing
yeah.
damage thing.
Damn it. Okay, never mind.
So Constance will, seeing that Azara's kind of taking care of Fenris, will turn back to the big boy and just very angrily give him another smited bonk.
You got it.
It's a 28 to hit.
Yep. Constance ripping through these things.
And that's a 19 damage. Holy bonkin'.
Holy cats.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah. He's not looking good, Constance. You're beating the crap out of him.
quick question, Chris. Does fighting spirit happen this turn, or is that my next turn it
I
happens?
don't think dying PCs are.
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
dying
unless
pieces
we
don't count.
house ruled it or something. It
I
was
just-
supposed
I forget
like
it.
yeah.
I definitely fought in spirit when Soren was dead, so I'd let you do the same.
I don't. I was just wondering. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Because I know like we've gone through it like a few times.
Yeah.
It's just one of those rules I always forget.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be for like you've split the party, and now like so
Oh,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
totally left out of a scene. You can still like participate.
That's-
Is kind of the
Mhm.
idea.
Yeah,
Right.
no, you're absolutely right.
Oh, if you got something good, let me know. I don't really care.
Nah. That's
Soren
fine.
Anyway.
did it.
That is all.
Sorry,
So-
Abby. I didn't
No,
mean to
it's okay.
interrupt.
No, it's okay.
That's a lot of damage. All right, Vamos is not looking much better than Fenris.
I didn't even
Um,
I think I didn't roll higher than like a 6 on any of my damage dice.
Well, then you're a beast.
This is a
Because he's
boss.
not doing great. Franz is up next, and he is going to. What would he do here?
Fry.
Trying to get in the head of the character.
Like a baby.
He's got another one. He's gonna crossbow bolt Fenris on the ground. That's 14 to hit Fenris, unconscious.
That'll miss actually.
Okay.
And that can get
Constance
coup.
just like.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, Vilemar can coup de grace me, just so you know.
Yeah. Zara and Constance just kind of like roll Fenris's body out of the way of the crossbow bolt real quick. Just, and it is Azara's turn now with Vilemar on deck.
Okay. We have some problems here. I'm going to cast. What am I going to cast? Yeah, I'm going to cast Bless for broad effect. Myself, Constance, and Fenris. Everybody gains 1d10 temporary hit points. And a +1 attack bonus until the end of the battle. And then I still have a quick action. And I'm going to Javelin of Faith, the asshole trying to murder my friend.
That's good.
16 to hit against physical defense.
Oh, that hits against physical.
Hell yeah.
This is gonna be close.
17 points of holy damage.
In my calculator. He's still up.
Shit! Well, Fenris got hit points.
I did. I'm up again. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah, Fenris is kind of coming to. Oh shit!
Right as you're coming to, Vilemar just takes one of his big, like, clawed feet and just, like, heel kicks you on the ground.
just zero dignity for me right now.
That's a nat 17 plus 5, 22.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay. 36. 10 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm down again.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's all good. I 1d10 temp hit points and I was already at -3. It's not like I was.
Yeah.
What's the escalation dice at right now?
3.
I forgot to add it. But... Okay.
3. So yeah, Fenris, you quickly see the light of day again, and then quickly just boom.
Boot in the face. The boot just takes that light out.
Just quickly pushed into the stone beneath you, and it's kind of nice. Oleander, you're up next.
All right. I think I see Vilemar like just sort of face stomp Fenris, and I have my ghoul try to swipe at him. That's a 24 to hit versus AC.
That does hit.
That's gonna be 8 damage.
The ghoul.
And it was a nat even, so it's vulnerable to attacks by undead for Litiliana its next turn. I'm going to also use my Wave of Decay on it again. That's going to be 8 negative damage.
All right, Oleander. How would you like to kill Vilemar?
Ah, sweet. I think, especially because I'm sort of using the Wave of Decay, it's like you see that ripple of decomposition like go over his body, but it doesn't fade this time, and you just sort of watch as like still seemingly alive Vilemar like withers and decays, and like his shrinks, like skin like shrinks up, and then it just sort of collapses into like this pile of like bones and fur, which my ghoul then starts munching down on like immediately.
As this happens, multiple things happen as soon as Vilemar is killed. You watch as Barrett grabs hold of Franz the rogue and Franz mutters under his breath, and the two of them are invisible. You watch as the pack of the Silver Hunt just absolutely swarms the streets, and double the amount that you have begin closing in on you. At that same time, you see a woman on the west side of the map. She's pale skin, long black hair. She's fit for combat. She has a long sword in one hand, and she's casting with the other hand, and she's fighting through these werewolves to get to you all. Fenris is still unconscious, so we're out of combat order here, but just know that we're not really out of the dangerous situation yet, as we still have the pack kind of descending on us a bit. So what would you all like to do?
I heal Fenris.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Olander will move to actually be closer to the group now so that I'm not isolated as we're getting like surrounded. And I'll just sort of be like, okay, well, anybody have any good ideas? That was sort of my last one.
My best idea in this moment is run.
Oh, Shasa, hi, Azara.
Hi.
I don't know. Is there a path for us to run? Like,
You can pick one of the side streets. You can pick north, west, south, or what the other one I didn't say. East. I know the direction. I know them.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Olander's vote's going to be, it was the west, you said we saw this other figure who seems to be fighting the pack. Yeah. Enemy of an enemy is a temporary friend at least. So I think Olander's was like, might as well go this way.
Okay, so the five of you get together and you start running towards the west, towards the woman with the longsword. Fenris, you are just like winded to all hell right now.
Fenris is doing the whole clenching the chest and like the bite marks in pain, trying his best right now.
Mm-hmm. You're conscious, but something about these wounds feels different. Azara, you probably pick up on this too as you're bringing him back to life. They feel lasting. Like normally your healing can close up a wound pretty quickly, but these ones kind of stay. He might have life in him, but these might be a more permanent thing. So you pick him up off the ground, and the rest of you are running towards the woman. Fenris, for some reason you can hear her in your head, but nobody else hears this. You hear, "I am friend, come to me," and she is sitting there just like beating the shit out of these werewolves.
Thank you, my friends. Whoever that is, I think they're communicating with me and they're claiming to be on our side.
I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth right now.
We can be suspicious later.
Right as you run up, she like skewers two werewolves on the end of her longsword and like kicks them back off towards you. As she gets up to you, without even saying like hello or greeting you, she like grabs Fenris by the coat and is like pulling him behind her. And the rest of you are just like, okay. And she turns to you all and she says, "The children of Hex can sense this. We need to get inside now, or else the stampede will be upon us." And she just begins sprinting like through these streets, basically leaving you kind of in the dust.
I guess we follow her.
Can we tell what she's heading towards? Like, are we heading back towards kind of where our rooms were, or someplace else entirely?
You're headed like to the north of where your rooms were a little bit at this point, as she's taking like a few weaving back roads and towards kind of like the manor district I described. I know it was like a month ago, but there was like all the wrought iron gates with all the manors and the creepy like haunted mansion kind of stuff going on. She's like headed towards those.
Okay.
You get to a large iron door with the insignia of a black rose on it, and she pulls the door open and just like shoves anyone willing inside of the door as like the werewolves are like on your tail, mixing with these children of Hex, these small gray creatures with these large talons on the end of their fingers. They seem to have swarmed together and are like pushing everyone out of the streets.
Squeeze myself into the door just like at the last second and be like, I've always hated children.
Did we get a cat at some point?
It is a long story. Azara, this is Vilven. Vilven, this is Azara.
Oh, you are the one that I've been sent to find. My father had me looking for you.
We don't have time to unpack all of this.
Let's go to break, then deal with that. So we're gonna go to break real quick, and we will be right back.
All right,
I don't have time to
BRB.
unpack.
Meow.
Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm pierces an unfamiliar voice. It sings news of a nefarious power. A bard to herald a call to all who would answer. Seek out this villainy and destroy it. To succeed is to achieve everlasting glory and riches beyond imagining. To fail is to lose everything. Will you answer the call?
Fuck it.
Percent of the workforce at her school is out.
Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm pierces an unfamiliar voice. It sings news of a nefarious power. A bard to herald a call to all who would answer. Seek out this villainy and destroy it. To succeed is to achieve everlasting glory and riches beyond imagining. To fail is to lose everything. Will you answer the call?
Fuck it.
Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm pierces an unfamiliar voice. It sings news of a nefarious power. A bard, to herald a call to all who would answer. Seek out this villainy and destroy it. To succeed is to achieve everlasting glory and riches beyond imagining. To fail is to lose everything. Will you answer the call?
Fuck it.
Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm pierces an unfamiliar voice. It sings news of a nefarious power. A bard to herald a call to all who would answer. Seek out this villainy and destroy it. To succeed is to achieve everlasting glory and riches beyond imagining. To fail is to lose everything. Will you answer the call?
Fuck it.
Oh shit. Hi.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Welcome back. We are going to go back in time before Fenris was brutally chomped and figure out what Azara was up to in the past a little bit. So Azara, you take the plunge into Hex and you walk across the drawbridge that journeys you into the city of Hex. There's a blinding gray pale light, and you find yourself in this nice little dining room, and there's a woman sitting far across from you. There's beautiful floor to ceiling windows behind her, and this like pale gray light that is kind of shining out. In fact, everything's kind of pale and gray here. The woman herself is like slowly sipping a glass of tea, and she's wearing these like white robes without any insignias or anything, just plain robes, and she has like a white blindfold tied across her eyes, and she's sitting there sipping tea. She says hello, just very nonchalantly as you enter the room.
Hello.
Is this your first time in Hex? And she's just like making pleasant conversation as she's drinking her tea.
Yes. Sorry, who were you?
Oh, I have several names. I'm called the Lady in Grey, Pale Knight. There's several.
Do I recognize any of those titles?
How old is Azara?
Like 20.
She would not.
The baby.
Baby Azara. She would not.
I will sit.
Okay. As you sit down, a little tea glass appears in front of you, and she says, "Take some, it's good." And she's just like slowly sipping again in this weird chamber.
Thank you. I do not drink it.
Okay. And she's just sitting there, and she says, "You're not the first of your bloodline to come to Hex." And she just continues sipping.
Excuse me?
Well, your grandfather has been here, his relatives.
Oh. Which side of the family?
And she smiles, like a little sly smile, or the corners of her mouth upturn, and she says, "I assume the one you don't want to talk about."
Yep.
And she just like leaves you in silence for like a minute.
What happened to my friends?
Oh, they're down there, dear. Don't worry about them. And she like stands up and walks over to the window, and you can see now that you're actually like floating above the city of Hex. And you can see like the top of Fenris's like horns like walking into the city and like petting this cat.
Huh. If they're down there, then how did I get up here?
I just wanted to talk with you. And she sits back down.
All right. What did you want to talk to me about?
Well, it's about that family that you didn't want to talk about. So we can sit until you're ready. And she just like crosses her legs, and her like flowing white robes kind of spool onto the floor.
What interest have you in my family?
I'll be honest, I don't like them very much. And she like kind of scrunches up her face a little bit.
Something we have in common.
That's exactly what I'd hoped. She sets down her tea. It's empty. You can hear kind of the clatter of the dish under, and then you look over and it refills. She takes another sip. She says, "Your grandfather took something of mine a very long time ago."
What did you take?
"Well, the moon, dear." And she like gestures around to the chamber that you're in, and you kind of put two and two together that you're floating above the city and looking down at the city of Hex.
He took the moon from you.
Yes.
What, do I? Okay, I know of two moon gods. I know the Moonlight King, and I know Lycus.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know a third?
Enter third. No, and that's what's strange. Perhaps it was pre your time, or perhaps it was of another world. Maybe the second.
What would you prefer I address you as?
Oh, anything you want.
So do you want the moon back?
Well, I've found my own moon now, and she again gestures around to the chamber you're sitting in, and she's like, I think it's quite lovely. And you look out the window and you see like these pale gray tendrils like floating down towards the city of Hex, like grasping at it almost. In fact, I like it more than the old one.
Okay.
So, my new want... You understand the two halves of the world. I was once at a different place, and now I'm here. I didn't quite make it all the way to the material, and that's what I want.
You want to be taken to the material plane?
Oh, not just me. And she again gestures out to the moon that you are now in.
You want me to take the moon to the material plane? What do you intend to do once you get there?
I don't intend to do anything. I lost some of my children in the convergence, and I'm hoping that the moon could serve as a beacon to help them find their mother again.
Who are your children?
Oh, there are many. And she like gets out like this little book from under the table, and she just begins reading you like hundreds of names.
Any that I recognize?
No, but they're all really like just guttural language.
Okay. What's the vibe? What's my
the vibe?
impression of this woman? Like, what? Does she seem sad? Does she seem trustworthy?
You can make a wisdom check if you'd like.
Oh god.
She's definitely sad.
18?
She's definitely sad. You feel as though you maybe would trust her if she didn't transport you inside of a moon. But that being said, you probably don't trust her at this point with your history with the moon.
No, none of the moon deities I've encountered so far have been great news.
No. So, my dear, my question to you is, would you be interested in helping me kill your grandfather?
Yes.
And she just like smiles.
I would be interested in that. What do you want in return?
I want the moon moved to the material. My moon.
I don't know if I'm capable of that.
So here's the thing. When your grandfather dies, all that power is going to be transferred to someone. I'm willing to bet it's the one closest to him when he dies. That is in your bloodline.
My mother is still alive, though.
Okay. I meant physically close.
Okay, that... So if I am the one who kills him, and I am physically closest to him, his power will be mine?
Yes, but unfortunately a mortal vessel can't quite carry the weight of the power of an archface, so you'll have to transfer it to someone, and that's where I could come in.
What'll you do with it?
I will move my moon to the material and find my children.
And then what?
Hopefully live up in the moon and have a good life with my family. Isn't that what everyone wants? Minus the moon bit.
But you won't interfere with the lives of mortals. You won't hurt anybody.
I'm not interested in that at all.
Are your children?
Well, that's for them to decide. There are hundreds. I don't know what each of their mind brings. I'm sure some of them are. If we're being truthful with one another, I'm sure some of my children have less positive intents than others, but isn't that everyone?
I'm sorry, you've given me a lot to think about.
Oh, sure, dear. I'll tell you what, we'll make it simpler in the short term, okay? If you're willing to accept my help for a small fee, very small, I will give you a little extra power the next time you encounter your grandfather.
What's the fee?
A very small. I'll require 1 day of your lifespan. And she's just smiling at you over her teacup, like very casually.
I don't think I'm comfortable with that deal.
All right, well, you know where to find me if you change your mind.
Thank you for your offer, and I will think on what you've said. Is there a way for me to contact you if we leave Hex?
Probably not. But Hex is closer than you think at all times.
Okay. I should find my friends. They might need me.
Yes, go ahead. And she motions you out to the front door.
Thank you.
Take care, dear.
I will leave. I will take a moment to quietly panic. Don't like what she said about my mother. That's bad. Actually, I don't like any of that conversation.
She just said okay.
Well, in a rather suspicious manner, Chris.
So as you exit out the front door of her little, it kind of looks like a cathedral more than anything, not really like a manor or anything. You walk out the front door and you're just kind of standing on the edge of the moon, looking down at the city, okay, now what?
I can fly, Chris.
All right, go for it. Look, I'm not here to say when your abilities are used.
I figured this shit out. Is it a little bit traumatizing every time? Yeah. Can I do it at will now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to find somewhere discreet to do it, though.
Sure.
Okay, so I will fly down somewhere relatively hidden and then a rooftop or something and then climb my way back down.
Okay, sounds good. You do that. You spend the rest of the time trying to find your party, and the rest is history. Unless there's anything else you want to say.
Nope, it's all emotional repression from here on in.
Incredible. So, we pick up, we fight Vile Maw, we pan all the way back into the woman with the longsword who is fending off werewolves, pulling you into her manor and just sliding you all across the floor, basically. And she's like, "Are you all right?" And she comes over and leans on you all and lets you lean on her and tries to pick you up off the ground, basically.
Who are you?
Oh, sorry. My name is Cassia.
Should that mean something to us? I mean, don't get me wrong, Dankeschön for helping my friend here, but...
Is she wearing any kind of symbols or anything we recognize?
She has very pale, grayish skin, but she has a big black rose tattoo, on her right forearm.
Does it mean anything to anyone here?
Probably to the more black coaty individuals.
So yes, so I would recognize the symbol immediately.
Yeah, definitely.
Your the black coats. 9.
Oh, in another life.
Another life.
My last one. And as she smiles, you see that she has sharpened fangs.
Oh. Oh, so I can see why you're not one anymore.
They don't take too kindly to me anymore. It was an accident from another life. And she heaves you up by the collar and starts looking at your infectious bites.
Once again, thank you for your assistance. I'm not sure what would have happened if you didn't happen upon us.
Do not mention it. I can take a look at those if you want.
Yes, please. These are still bothering me, and I did not like the way that Vile Maw's teeth glowed.
Nobody does. And she takes you by the elbow basically and starts leading you through this nice manor. Make yourself at home. And she calls out to the rest of you, and it's just this very old, like, cobwebbed manor that nobody really walks around. You walk in another room, there's this huge guy in, like, plate mail just, like, staring at all of you. He's very friendly. And she just continues down the hall with Fenris.
Is there anything, I guess, in this room that might give, like, Oleander more clues about this person's deal or anything, like books or notes or even just like artwork that sort of might give more information than just like potentially former Blackcoat?
Yeah, so you can, there's like a lot of like family portraits. There's 3 individuals that look nothing alike, basically. It's Cassia, the woman that you have recently met. There's a large male figure. He has dark skin and he has kind of like blonde hair combed over one side of his head and like steely blue eyes. You can imagine that's the guy in the plate mail as he takes off his helmet and sets it on his knee. And then there's another older man. He has long white hair, kind of like braided in certain areas. His hair almost kind of looks like Soren for a minute, and then it's not. And then he kind of like, he's not around right now, but you get the sense that they're some sort of little family. But
Okay.
definitely all have sharp teeth, so you can kind of
Right.
ascertain what's going on there.
And definitely have been in this house for some time at least. They're not just like squatting.
No, yeah, they
Okay.
own it.
Just, trying to vibe check.
Yeah. So Fenris, she takes you into the other room and she says, so tell me, how do I find you fighting Vilma?
It would appear I've been bamboozled. I thought I had seen a familiar face, someone who should be dead. And like a fool, I chased them into the streets of X, their vile bar, and someone else I knew was waiting for me.
This is going to hurt. And she like pours some liquid over the...
Fuck! You probably just hear in the other room. Fuck!
He's fine, he's just a baby. And she just like pours it on the other shoulder as well.
Yeah, it's just another, God damn it!
And how do you know of black coats? And she's just like basically like sewing up the wound now.
I'm not sure how long ago your other life was, but you may have heard of Mouse Ponyhausen.
Oh yes, I care very much about the black coats, though I am no longer technically one.
They raised me, so I know a lot because I was essentially my first parent in life was a black coat.
I've never met them, but I hear nice things.
They are wonderful.
So, you are sort of associated with black coats. A vile mob bites you, and you see people who are not there. You can't be in a black coat yourself, or else you would see through that, no?
I am not a black coat. I was not trained. I had left. I actually never intended to become one myself. But my recent journeys with my friends have me changing that opinion.
Interesting. She pours more acid over you.
Warn me next time.
You yelled the last times.
Good
And
point.
she just goes about like working on you for a while, unless you want to talk to her about anything else.
How did you come to be here in Hex?
It's a long story, my friend. Short version is I became ill-fated. I left everyone I loved. I began loving new people, and I'm okay with that. And she just like keeps pouring things.
I know
they're
any-
less harmful.
Do I know anything about ill-fatedness? I know a previous character of mine's very well acquainted.
Yeah, you know enough about ill-fatedness. It's basically like a state between vampirism where they don't have quite all the powers, but they don't have all the drawbacks either.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird pseudo-undead type
Yeah.
thing.
They can walk in the sunlight, but they can't, drain the life out of every living creature in 50 feet of them.
Yeah. It's like Vampire Light.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to thank you again for your assistance. Do I need to be concerned about the bites?
Well, your friend killed him, so bites are fine. Just don't get any more.
Just one more question. Do you know anything about Vilma? He was very specific about trying to claim a birthright.
I know much about Vilma. He has plagued Hex for some time. He, you know, as we have just talked about, ill-fated is not quite vampirism. It's diet vamp. Sorry, Sarah, I had to do Vilma is not quite a lichen. He is what I call a silvermane. He is like an ill-fated but werewolf.
Never encountered one, and I hung out with a lot of werewolves in my time.
Well, you must have hung out with the right ones and not the wrong ones.
Well, thank you again we should probably join the others. They probably have so many questions for you.
Sure. And she like helps you down off of like the table that she threw you on, and you guys walk out back in the living room. There's like the big dude, like the big guy in the plate armor has brought a little tea set out basically, and is like clattering it as he's walking through. And he just like sets him down in front of everybody, and this guy's like giant. Maybe some giant blood before he was turned undead. She just sits
not drinking, but is being very politely pretending to.
Zara's very distractedly sort of staring at Verwin, like,
and Verwin is very pointedly ignoring the dusty and the cobwebby bits and is trying to find one clean spot that doesn't fuck with her fur.
I'll just like prestidigitation you a little like spot somewhere on like a chair if I notice that's what you're doing. Just like, oh yeah, no.
I'm being very obvious about it, so thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You know, Oleander's still allergic to cats. Is just like red-eyed.
Cassie sits down.
Oh.
She's like, you are welcome to ride out the Children of Hex storm outside, and you just hear like the pattering of like 1,000 claws on the stone outside.
I'm just
nice
picturing
little white noise backdrop.
Yeah,
I'm just picturing like zombie movie, just fast zombies, just like Resident Evil shit going on outside.
Yeah, that's how used to it the residents of Hex are. To you, it's
just
like
sipping tea inside.
jarring.
Time for the nightly zombies.
thank you. It's fucking Minecraft. Sorry.
Oh no! My pickaxe.
Thank you for your assistance, Cassia.
Sure. I do not really care for Vilma as much as your friend does, so.
Oh, you have some established history with this, I don't know, pack?
You don't know, and she points to Fenris.
But
Werewolves and vampires don't mix. Never have. Read all the stories, they're all true.
oh, Amaranth used to talk about that all the time. I thought he was only kidding.
No, it's true. There is a reason now, though, and she just like nonchalantly goes back to her food, cutting some crackers and like cheese on the counter, not explaining.
Do you feel like sharing the reason?
Oh, I could.
We would be curious to know.
All right, well. I suppose if you are a lichen who does not get along with Vilma, then I trust you. So, this is my sect, and she points to her like 3 friends on the painting, even though only one is in the room right now. She says, we have been a sect for about 50 years, and we have been guarding our version of an elder. He is the elder vampire in our sect, and we love him very much. We care for him very dearly. And she winks. Recently, he unfortunately, well, not him so much, but members of our sect have they walked into the moonlight and they disintegrated as if they were walking into the sun. And if you know anything about vampires, that's kind of their main thing, is they get to rule the night. But if they can't walk outside during the night, then what can they do? So that is really troublesome. And we've actually found out that Lycus has he's fucked with the moonlight a little bit to make it so vampires can't walk outside during the night too. So that's where the ill-fated come in, and she stands up all triumphantly and points at her large friend who is now bringing a little cheese tray in.
Sorry, what was your name?
Oh, he doesn't have a name. He likes it that way.
Is there something you'd like us to address you as then?
Buddy, pal, guy. He's pretty generic.
Okay.
Buddy, pal, guy. And she looks over to buddy, pal, guy, and he's like, no. And he just shakes his head.
Thank you. A pleasure to meet you.
He just kind of grunts. So anyways, Lycus fucked with the moon. Now my elder sect, can't walk outside during the nighttime. I was sent to Hex to investigate because it is the only place with a different moon that we can hopefully use as leverage. But I have not been able to talk to Pale Knight, the mistress of the moon here, and she does not really take audiences that frequently. So I am going to try to kill all of the Silvermanes. I don't know. That's my plan.
Ordinarily, how and why would one seek an audience with the pale one?
I call her Pale Knight, yes.
Pale Knight.
I don't really know. She kind of chooses you, that's why I'm here, but I'm hoping to catch her eye or something. I'm not quite sure. I am quite pretty. And she's just thinking of other ways to get someone's attention.
What can you tell us about the Pale Knight here?
I don't know much about her. She is in charge of a moon. I don't know why the moon is here and where it came from, but she typically, the only time she takes audiences is if she wants something from the person, so.
Well, then you have to find out something she wants.
Exactly. That's why I'm here. But I don't know what that is, unfortunately. I'm sorry, are you a cat? And she points to her.
I was about to ask. Yes, I am a cat currently. I was going to ask, what are vampires? And what were those things that were chasing us? I'm a little in over my head.
Our lessons have not gotten us far quite yet.
No. We've gotten as far as passive future present tense.
I also have some questions, Verwin. You said you were looking for me?
Yes, my father sent me to find you.
And who's your father?
Just slowly moving the china away.
Fenris taking a few steps back.
Zara, daddy issues, granddaddy issues, just all the issues.
She just is not paying attention to any of that. Just goes, Laurel Artel Kessir?
Is your father?
Yes.
And
well,
why...
sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, he's my father 8,000 years ago. I'm new here. And here as in now.
You traveled in time?
I did, yes. My father sent me.
Laurel, okay. Why are you looking for me?
Alex, why am I looking for her?
We told you to go find her because she's the key.
Ah, right. You're the key. I'm not quite sure what that means, but father knows, and if he sent me, a big deal. So I found you, and that's wonderful. And we need to get you back to him as soon as possible, although I'm not sure how I'm supposed to travel back. I should have asked.
Okay.
Oh well.
Your father sent you here to find me because I'm the key, even though in your time I wouldn't be born for 8,000 years. And didn't tell you how to get home.
I might not have been paying attention. I'm always a very good student with things that I wish to learn. But this was something that was asked of me and I agreed to do and was not exactly in my plans. But here
In your defense, Verwin, the enemies were like at the gate when he sent you. Like it was like, I don't have a lot of time to explain. I'm gonna send you like 6,000 years forward into the future. Go find our descendant, and she's the key. Go.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, you're our descendant. And you're the key. Granted, there was a lot going on at the time, so I'm not sure of the specifics. But you're the key. And
Did
coming
he
from father, that's a big deal.
tell you what to do when you found me?
I imagine try and get in touch with him.
Okay. Well, we could try going back to the severed hand. I don't especially want to travel 8,000 years in the past. I sort of have some stuff going on now.
Stuff will be happening 8,000 years in the past, though.
Okay. Why? Why me?
Well, you're a descendant. You're of our blood, and it's an honor.
Is there a way to formally reject all blood ties?
I don't know. Father was looking into some things to do with blood, but I never really paid attention.
Now, Erwin,
Yes.
do you know how paradoxes work? Or if they
Yeah.
do?
I know of paradoxes, and I know the theory behind them. I don't really. Can you have a paradox that stretches that far?
I don't know. It depends on the lifespan of those involved, I think.
Well, is there anybody here who would be involved? Because, Alex, I don't know my dad's a lich, right?
You don't.
Yeah, okay. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I was like, yeah, no, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun when you find that out.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
excited about. I feel like that's coming up in about 30 seconds.
There happens to be an immortal that I have beef with that I could deal with before he murders my whole family, assuming that, that wouldn't erase me from the timeline.
Might Marty McFly this shit. I don't know if there's anyone who would cross paths between the two. I mean, obviously an immortal, sounds quite plausible, but really I just need to get back into contact with Father and to see what he wants me to do now that I found you.
Well, the severed hand will be our best bet for that, but it's a little bit out of our way.
Who is the severed hand?
Where is the severed hand? It's a place.
Oh, where is the severed hand? Sorry.
Where's the severed hand?
Lucy, from the dungeon crawl, you would remember that in its time, the severed hand was known as the Hand of the Saladrin, which is probably the name Verwin would recognize the fortress her daddy was running.
The Hand of the Saladrin.
Oh, yes, I know that. I've never heard that before in my life.
Sorry,
yes,
I meant to send you a whole bunch of shit. And
damn it, Alex. Yes, no, I know exactly where that it is 6,000 years ago. I'm not sure what it looks like now, but if you know where it is, then yes, I can help us navigate that area.
Okay. Verwin, I'm really sorry, but it has been 8,000 years. It's sort of a ruin now.
Oh, well, you know, nothing lasts forever. And I expect I'll be going back to my time. And it won't be a ruin. And I'll just know that it will be several millennia after my death. It'll be fine.
I make sort of desperate eye contact with the others. Like, I don't know the rules of time travel. I don't know how much I can tell her.
I mean, Oleander's already been giving her like a Cliff Notes history lesson of like the last 6,000 years, which Azara wouldn't know, but...
Fenris looks at Verwin. Werewolves are cursed beings that turn into wolves. I'm sure you've figured out that much by now.
I did gather that, yes.
And vampires are sort of a type of undead, who survive off preying off the still living, but it is also similarly a sort of infection.
Preying's a strong word.
Well, you have another...
It's just a bird.
Like werewolves with Lycus, you have Mephiston to thank for the vampires. I'm sure Oleander touched on how the Dreadlords really fucked things up for everyone.
It was pretty important, yeah.
Sorry, my brain is just focusing. Hey, we don't say praying, we say ethically sourced here.
I only drink free-range blood.
Well, if I don't prey on people, how am I going to eat?
I consent.
There is, like, zero judgment in Oleander's voice either. Like, she is just spitting facts.
Look, I'm in no place to judge this person who just saved my ass. I'm in no place for judging.
At the same time, Cassia is like
undead.
Cassia has like this pitcher of like red wine and is like pouring herself a glass as she's upset about the prey.
Verwin just kind of looks and is like, they seem okay to me.
But like pretty much, you know, any group, people are individuals. You seem nice enough, for sure.
They did save our lives.
Unfortunately, not everyone shares your opinion on people like Cassia or myself, for that matter.
Yourself? I mean, you are strange looking, but...
I am a werewolf myself, among other things.
Is that why they were angry at you?
That's probably has something to do with why is this vile law wanted me dead.
Is it like when one dog gets into another dog's property and they fight it out?
I'm not sure. I think it had more to do with what you were talking about with Azara. Birthright.
He was saying something about a chimera. Do you know what that is? I mean, I know what a chimera is, but the chimera.
Vaguely. Amaranth told of Lycus's avatar, the total chimera. Terrifying shape-shifting creature.
Huh. Well, I feel like we should do something about that, but I don't know what to do about that.
Oleander, do you remember the night when we were in New Dunlin? Did you happen to draw? I know you tend to draw. Did you draw what you saw me becomes that night?
Oh, well, she kind of looks a little embarrassed and will like go digging through her bag to pull out her journal and be like, well, I mean, you know, I did not I thought it might be important or something at some point. It was quite a sight. And she'll like pull out and sort of unfold like at this point it's kind of been like smudged in the book a little bit just from time, but it's like this really sort of twisted charcoal like drawing of Fenris in his sort of chimera-ish form.
The total chimera does not look like a traditional chimera. It's like this weird amalgamation of various animal features just kind of put into this twisted demonic shape with like big antlers, big old fangs. And in the most striking feature is the fact that instead of its skin clinging to its body, it wears its skin like a cloak.
Oh, I don't like that.
And they can also berserk like the other like the Lycus curse of berserking. They're fucking it's supposed to be terrifying. It's Lycus's avatar.
It's a very good
Thanks,
picture.
I hate it.
There's so much of the world that needs to be saved.
That explains a lot. Well then, well, thank you for having that ready, Oleander. I appreciate it.
Saying you're welcome does not quite seem appropriate right now, but if it helps, I'm glad.
I'm not happy that is what I became that night, and quite frankly, now I'm more concerned about our quest more than ever.
Well, it wasn't your fault that night, and you haven't been that way since, so...
Pray we don't see it again.
So I don't know what our next step should be. I mean, we seem to have defeated Viomar. Is Lycus just going to send somebody else after you? Or did you win?
I don't know. I don't think I've won. I thought I was fighting someone else.
I think someone else.
Yeah. I'd rather not get into it.
There was somebody who seemed very good at casting with them.
And speaking of shape-shifting, Virwin, are you always a cat?
No, I'm high elf. I made somebody angry with a comment or two, and it didn't work out in my favor.
At
We have
that
been trying
moment,
to
from
work on
the
that.
from the kitchen across the room, you hear, "She sure did make someone angry," and you just hear like this like large form in the kitchen.
Do I? That's the voice. Big Angie.
That's it.
Big Angie. Big Angie.
Big
energy.
Angie. Big Angie. She's so mad. She's so upset.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I've been giving her treats all night. She should be fine.
Bribe her.
I have been. I've literally been bribing her with treats.
We need more. More
Multiple
bribing.
treats.
Oh no, there is more.
Who's in the kitchen, Chris?
We must appease the beast.
So you look over
She
the
hungers.
kitchen. You look over the kitchen, and you see the visage of a green, slick-scaled humanoid. She has two large aqua eyes that are similar to the appearance of like large bug eyes. She has two lanky arms that have small fins on the undersides of them, as well as two gills on each side of her neck. Two octopus-like tentacles stem from the center of her back out around to the front of their waist. Their defining feature, however, are the two ibex horns that extend from the top of her forehead back over their head. And they are just a mess looking. Like they're just like a amalgamation of like a bunch of different things. And she's
Hello?
just sitting out there like tapping her toe impatiently and like crossed her arms towards Verwin.
I'm
Hello.
Azara. What's your name?
I don't care who you are. Verwin.
Okay.
Yes.
And she like stands up and she's like 8 feet tall and she's just like towering over this little cat. She's
And
like,
the little cat is like curling up. Those back hairs are standing up on end. Tail is fluffed.
she looks down and she's like, I'm proud of you. You might have been terrible a few days ago, but you put that aside to help people tonight that you don't even know.
Well, they helped me first, and it was only right. And I do apologize for my earlier comments. They were uncouth.
And she like bends down even further towards the cat, and her large like fly eyes are like just like buzzing everywhere around. She's like, you seem honest. All right. Does anyone want me to fry Verwin or save Verwin? Let's take votes. And she looks around the chamber.
Please save Verwin.
I will
One.
vote for save.
2.
She's been very nice to us.
I'm gonna have to go with save as well. Frying sounds lovely, you know, but
I
Three.
get under the table.
I'm kidding. Please save her. Don't fry anybody.
Time and a
Okay.
place, Mercy.
Sorry.
Cassia looks over, who's still on the couch, and she's like, why are you in my house? And the large green creature just says, all right, that's 3-0. Verwin, if you do that again, Eerie knows where to find you. That's all I'll say, and we'll leave it with that.
All right.
Also,
Understood.
if you ever want to help get me out of here, let me know. And she gives you like a smile to all of you, and it's just like bugs are in between her teeth still.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, Cassie, a lovely home. And she just like begins walking. Cassie's like, who are you?
How'd you get in?
Better than the
And-
last. Better than that soaring guy. We should compliment your house.
And you watch as Eerie, the horned one, this large, she's a Merid, a form of Jinn, and she just like opens the door and just wades out into the children of Hex without caring. And they like part like the Red Sea for her as she walks through. She's like, oh yes, I forgot. And one of her tentacles, like through the door, like you just see this little spark of energy come off of it and just nail Cat Verwin. And you watch as Verwin, her form expands into a high elf, and you can describe high elf Verwin as we pan out for the night if you would like to.
Well, the table, being under the table is certainly uncomfortable now, but crawling out from underneath the table, you do see a high elf young woman, pale golden skin, vibrant purple eyes, long ears, and white blonde, almost pearlescent hair. It is currently a mess because she's very stressed. And she's wearing sort of this like deep burgundy robe, essentially. And she kind of scrambles out from under the table and goes, hello.
No one talked. They were ending there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Beautiful.
That was awesome.
I love it.
Very elegant. Hello. It's me, the cat.
Hello.
Wow.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so we're gonna call it here, a little bit of a shorter session, but we'll make up for it in the future, I'm sure. So thank you all for playing. You can find our lovely cast at the cast link in Twitch because I'm too lazy to plug yet again.
I did
Yeah.
That's
post.
fine.
I did post the art of the total chimera into the discussion portion in our Discord. If you're curious what an artistic,
Also linked.
if you're curious what an artistic depiction of that creature looks like,
Anyways, that'll be fun when that comes up.
Yeah,
that'll
sure,
be
that'll
fun.
be totally fine. I'm not concerned.
Nah, it's
Mm-mm.
cool.
It's okay.
All
I
right.
I just gave the GM a "Hey, fuck us up" button.
Yeah, That's totally.
say
You guys
that?
totally killed Vilemoth.
Yeah, he's totally dead.
Yes.
Alex, we
Yeah,
say that like
not a
every
problem.
single one of our backstories is not a hey GM, fuck us up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say we already gave Chris so many knives.
Alex and I
many
were talking
guys.
the other day about how every character is like connected to something like pretty important and large.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
And then yeah, like when Kate was coming up with a character, I was like, okay, who needs it? I'm like, what if we linked it to Azara via this? Because that's rude.
Lich.
That's rude.
Because that's rude. And Izara has feelings about Laryl. Oh, also fun lore fact: Laryl is known in the lore by wizards and the Weave. He invented the power word kill spell, and he also was
Good
able
one.
to basically translate from old spacefaring ancient alien texts the time stop spell. That makes a lot
So
of
it's
sense, though.
essentially Saren is like obsessed with this man.
He's like, and then one of his students invented mage hands, so like dude's got like a reputation of it.
That is pretty
Zara is
cool.
so tired.
Izara's just like,
What's
fuck
up
this
with
guy.
her?
You say.
Izara, fuck this guy. Oleander meeting him. Oh my god, you're like one of my biggest heroes.
Yeah, are you kidding? Oleander's gonna
Zara,
be like
not like that.
fangirling out so hard.
Just like, you invented so many cool spells.
Yeah, it really is.
If Soren ever met him, he'd just be like, yo, all your stories are made up, aren't they?
you did
Just
meet
grill
him.
You
him.
did meet him.
No, I'm again. It could
Yeah,
happen.
Oh,
okay. 'Cause, like,
again.
Yeah.
yeah, also when the party met him, his brain wasn't the same as it was when he was alive, so.
Oleander wasn't there for that either.
Yeah.
She just took
All right.
credit for the relics we stole from his house.
Hey, got you a
Yes,
promotion
that's
at work,
knowledge.
so.
Sure fucking did.
Hey, anything for that. All right, so we are going to take off. We will be back next Wednesday. Now that we are through the holiday season, we can get back on more of a normal schedule. So thank you for everyone hanging out in chat. And I think we're going to end now.
All right, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
good.
there we
Oh.
go. Yay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome. You find yourselves in the town tavern. Through the typical calm